channel. So this video is very different from me. I had lots of fun filming this. So basically I picked some of my favorite products from Rimmel, and then I found some higher end alternatives, and I created a whole look using, you know, different products. So this side is my Rimmel affordable Rimmel side, and then this side is my high-end side. Also, this video is made in collaboration with Rimmel London, Canada. So they did provide me, you know, they did send me the products, and then the other products I received either in PR. I bought some recently for this video, and some I've had in my collection for a very long time. So yeah, if you want to know how I created this look and also find some great alternatives to your higher end products, definitely keep on watching. Yes, my hair is also different colors, but we're not gonna talk about that. Okay, so this is gonna be like a really exciting video. So first, let's prime. I'm gonna be using the Rimmel Lasting Finish Breathable Primer. This is an ultra lightweight skin perfecting primer. So primer is like white when you first apply it, and then when you blend it out, it turns to this like very luminous primer, which I really like. So yeah, I really like this primer because it just gives a really like luminous look to the skin. So I'm gonna do my Rimmel, like the Rimmel on this side, and this is gonna be the high-end side. Then the comparable primer I found is by Tilbury. This is actually like newer for me, but I've used it a few times. It's the Brightening Youth Glow Anti-Aging Color Correcting Glow Booster. It's white when you apply it, and then when you blend it out, it gives again that luminous finish to the skin. So as I said, this is gonna be my Rimmel side, which might be cheating a little bit because this is my good side. So this is this. It looks really luminous. I really like this primer. Today I need a good glow, you know? To compare, I mean, both sides have a really pretty like luminous look. You know, my pores look the same on both sides. So these are both really great, different price point, but these are both really great. Okay, now for foundation. Again, this is from the Breathable Lasting Finish Breathable line from Rimmel. This foundation I haven't used in a while because I kind of forgot that I had a light shade for this foundation. My shade is the 103 True Ivory, so it looks like that. I've done a whole like video on this line. So what I really like about this foundation is the applicator. It makes it really fun to apply. This foundation is very natural looking on the skin. It gives a good coverage. It says this is a medium coverage foundation. It gives good coverage, but it almost looks like you have nothing on your skin, which is always great, especially for a more like natural makeup day. And then the one that I found that was comparable is the Clinique Beyond Perfecting Foundation and Concealer, a 2-in-1. But basically it has like the same one applicator, which I just think it's so cool, like to apply foundation with this. This is the Clinique, this is the Rimmel. This one is just much like softer on the skin. I know it's kind of like, really? For the actual consistency of the foundations, this one is just a little thicker. This one is more liquidy. Start with the Rimmel one. Also, this shade is just perfect. I don't know why I forgot I had this foundation. It's really hard to find a good shade when I'm fair. This is like that perfect, neutral, warm, fair shade. It's just so nice to find an affordable foundation that has just like a neutral. Look at how good this match is. But this one is just a little thicker, you know, it's a thicker formula, which can be great. But yeah, I would say these are comparable in the way they apply, you know, with the wand. But the formula is not exactly the same. This one is a lot more liquidy, and this one is just a little thicker. And I would say it gives a more like made up look. This is a bit more natural looking. Now for concealers, I have the again Lasting Finish Breathable concealer. This is a lightweight medium coverage concealer. I have the shade 100 Fair, and what I like about this concealer is how it applies with the little sponge. So also, I like this shade. Again, it's that perfect like neutral shade. It's not pink. A lot of really fair concealers can tend to be pink. So next I have the Magic Away liquid concealer from Tilbury. Again, this is new for me. it has like the same kind of applicator that looks like that sponge. This one I have in the shade number 3 Fair. It is a little darker. This side is just going to be a little darker, but this shade still fits me. It's just a bit of a different look. And I've tried this already, and this is like a really natural looking concealer, but it has great coverage. This one also has some great coverage. It has some great coverage, but looks natural underneath the eyes. So I'm gonna use a sponge to blend this out. Of course, the Rimmel side is gonna look a little lighter, but as far as coverage, I would say these are very comparable. Also, the finish is just really nice. It's not cakey, it's not super thick, it's more that natural looking concealer, which I like again for daytime. So far my skin looks good. I feel like I have a bit more redness on this side, but I think that's just my skin. But so far, you know, it looks good. Even if I have a darker foundation on this side, you can't tell too much. Now for bronzer, this is my favorite part. I really love kind of a glow giver kind of bronzer. I like my bronzer to add some warmth to my skin. So the one I really like is the Rimmel Natural Bronzer. This is in the shade Sunlight. I've used this a lot. This is like the packaging. My packaging is dirty. This is the bronzer I really like. This is definitely in my... I have 2 bronzers from the drugstore I really like. This is one of them. So this is like a super warm kind of... I was laying in the sun kind of bronzer, and the bronzer that I found that was quite comparable, I use them in the same way. It's the MAC Give Me Sun. This is a mineralized skin finish that looks like that. Now the only thing that is different is the darkness. The MAC one is a bit darker, as you can see. If you're fair, maybe you would enjoy the Rimmel one a bit more. I know a lot of people are scared to use the Give Me Sun, especially if you're more fair. I personally like warm bronzers. I think they look really nice on the skin. I will say that the Rimmel one is more wearable for me when I'm fair. I feel like I use the Give Me Sun more when I have a bit of a tan. But yeah, I use these in the same way. I don't contour, I just add some warmth to my face. So let's start with the Rimmel one. I've used this so much, and it's a very natural looking bronzer. I mean, it's warm, but it's not orange, or at least I don't find like it is orange. I don't know, I love a good warm bronzer. And I just apply this with the big brush like that. It looks so good. I also blend it down to my neck to make sure everything is so funny. Like one side is red, one side is gone. I just want to look like I was laying in the sun a little bit, which personally I don't tan, so even if I was laying in the sun, I would not get that result. But let's pretend. And then this is the MAC one. Yeah, the MAC one is a bit darker, so I have to be a little careful. I'm definitely gonna be more tan on this side. But these are just beautiful bronzers. I will say this one looks a bit more natural for my skin tone. You know, this one is a little darker. So just depending on what's your skin tone, I would definitely recommend this one if you're like a fair, light, even medium skin. It's just that great like glow giver tan look, you know. For blush, you probably know I love a good like coral warm blush. The one I wear a lot, I wear this pretty much every single day. If you watch my videos, you probably know. This is Spring Sheen from MAC. It's just that coral blush with gold shimmer. Now the one I found that is quite similar is the Rimmel and Kate little palette that looks like that, in this shade Golden Bronze. So today I'm only gonna use the blush. The blush looks like that. It's that same color. So this is the Rimmel one, this is the MAC one. Now the Rimmel one is just a little lighter, but it's that same coral peachy with gold shimmer. I just like to apply this on the apples of my cheeks. I kind of do the tip of my nose as well. And with these blushes, I feel like I don't need to apply a highlight because they have that gold shimmer. So it just adds like a nice... I have a lot more product on this side. So yeah, it just gives you that nice glow. No highlight. This is just the blush. I will say the Rimmel one is a bit more shimmery than the one from MAC, but they both have that, you know, that golden shimmer mixed in the blush. So okay, now let's move on to the brows. If you've been watching my videos for the past like year, I use the Brow This Way kit from Rimmel pretty much every single day. I switched to the shade medium brown. I used to use dark brown, darkest brown. So basically it just has a little wax and a powder. Honestly, I haven't been filling in my brows a whole lot recently, just because when my hair was a little lighter 2 days ago, I had to be careful not to fill in my brows too much. So I just do a little bit. I like the wax because it just like puts your, it lays my hairs in place, I guess. And what I found that was comparable is the Benefit Brow Zings. So again, it's that little kit. I got this in a shade 4. Again, it comes with the wax and the powder. I'm just gonna take a little bit of the wax and the powder. And this comes with a mirror. Now personally, I do my makeup in the car a lot, so I love that this is just small. I don't like to spend too much time doing my brows. I also don't like to spend too much money on brow products, because to me it's not fun. Like, it's not a fun product, you know. I just do my brows because I do my brows, but it's not like, I don't know, brows are not exciting to me. So personally, I don't like to spend too much money on brow products. I feel like they all kind of do the same, but I really like a wax and a powder. I feel like it's just what works the best for me. Now let's move on to, actually I said bronzer was my favorite, but this might be my favorite. If you've been following me on Instagram for the past like 2 months, I've been wearing this eyeshadow palette a lot. This is the Rimmel Magnifies Crimson Edition palette. I did a tutorial using the pink shades on my channel, which I'll link down below, but I've been using these 3 shades right here pretty much. In October, the only look I did was these 3 shades in my crease, like on my lid, in my crease. I did like a super quick and easy smoky eye, and that was that. Now, the palette that is quite comparable is the Naked Cherry palette from Urban Decay. These two came out around the same time, actually. So I received both of these kind of at the same time, and I really fell in love with the Rimmel one, so I haven't played too much with the one from Urban Decay, but I really want to recreate kind of my signature. I really want to recreate the look I was wearing a lot. I will try my best to recreate the look I was wearing the past like 2 months. Okay, so first I will use bronzer in my crease. I'll use the Rimmel bronzer for this side. I just like to add bronzer in my crease, and then this side I'll do the MAC. Okay, so in the Rimmel palette, I will be using this shade right here, and I will apply this all over my lid, and the matte shades blend so well. We'll use the shade Devilish in the Urban Decay palette. It's a bit more pinky than, I feel like the one from Rimmel is a bit more brown. This one I feel like is gonna be a little bit more, you know what? Okay. I'll make it work. You know what? These are quite similar. This is great. Okay, now in the Rimmel palette, I'll use the middle shade right here. I'm gonna apply this in my outer corner. Now this color is much darker, so let's blend this out. I'll just take a fluffier brush and blend this out. In the Urban Decay palette, I'll just use this one. Now this one is a little darker, it's Privacy. And I'm just gonna use this in my outer corner. And by the way, I'm wiping my brush in between all the colors. So I'm gonna go back in the Rimmel palette, and I'm just gonna mix these two a little bit, because I feel like the shade I just applied from Urban Decay is a little darker. So I wanna make both of my eyes as even as possible. I'm gonna go back in Privacy, the dark shade. Just gonna blend this out a bit more. And then I'm just gonna go and apply that dark shade on my lower lash line. And with the Rimmel palette, I'm gonna blend these two shades right here on. so honestly, I'm really happy with the way this turned out. I'm surprised I was able to create like the same look on both sides. So, I mean, it might look a little different. Usually I do, when I use the Rimmel palette, I make it a bit more intense, but then sometimes I do something a little more subtle. So it just depends. I feel like every time I use a palette, I create a different look, but it's the same look. This palette is really, really nice. But then you also have like your fun shades. So yeah, I'm happy I was able to recreate the same look using the Urban Decay palette. This is also like a really nice palette. I'll put them side by side. They look like that. Yeah, both of these are great. I mean, I really like the pigmentation and just how the Rimmel eyeshadows blend. Really nice. And I also really like Urban Decay eyeshadows. So these palettes are quite similar. If you want to try, you know, the pinky shades, these are two great palettes to go for. I've been using the Rimmel one a lot more. As I said, it's pretty much like the only palette I've been using recently. Now for mascara, I have two, of course. Okay, so the one from Rimmel is the Wonderfully Real Mascara. This is one of my favorites from the drugstore. It has a plastic one that looks like that. This one is just great at giving lots of volume. And the one that I found is comparable, I would say, is the Benefit They're Real Mascara, which looks like that. I just started using this. Now again, this has a plastic one. The only thing that is different is the one is, you know, similar but different. This one has, the Benefit one has some spikes. And you know, the wands are similar. This one has a bit more of a triangle shape to it. Mascara is like really black. It's a great one if you want lots of drama. And I almost find that like recently I kind of changed, not changed my makeup style, but I like to be a little less high maintenance, and I feel like just mascara can be really nice, even better than, I feel like sometimes lashes just make the whole look a lot more glam, and I feel like just mascara makes the look a bit more sultry. So I've been really liking just to use mascara recently. Now I'm gonna do the Benefit They're Real. When you look at my lashes, it's kind of the same look. But yeah, I will let the mascara dry. I will curl my lashes again and apply a second layer after. Now let's move on to the lips. Now I don't know how I'm gonna do this, like two lip products on my lips. Now I've been wearing the Stay Satin liquid lip color in As If so much on my channel, on pretty much all my pictures on Instagram. When I found this lip color, this is like the perfect lip color for me with my skin. Like, this is just the perfect nude. It's not too orange, it's not too brown, it's not too pink. This is like my color. So it was actually pretty hard to find something comparable because the formula of these, this is not like a matte liquid lipstick. It dries to a satin finish, and I feel like a lot of companies either came out with matte liquid lipsticks or like shiny liquid lipsticks. I've had this for a while. This is the Lise Wattier Baiser Satin in Natural Kiss. Formula, quite similar. It's that, you know, that satin finish. The shade, the undertone is very similar, but the one from Lise Wattier is just darker. It's a similar undertone. It was just so hard to find like the perfect shade and formula for these because these are quite unique, I guess. Yeah, this shade is perfection. I love it so much. I can wear it with anything. Now let's do the Lise Wattier. Not bad. The shade from Lise Wattier is just a bit more brown. It's similar. So to be fair, my mascara rarely looks the same on both eyes because I usually like apply mascara like this, and I also do like this when I should do like that, but I'm kind of late, I don't know. So personally, I do prefer the look of the Rimmel one, but the Benefit one is also great. So now for the lips, the color is a bit more similar when it's all dry. Now this is the face. I mean, I am surprised that I was able to use different products and both sides are pretty similar. The eyeshadow looks pretty good. Now of course I've been using this palette like a lot. The one from Urban Decay, I do like it. It's just I haven't been using it all that much. Now personally for me, I just feel like if you're gonna buy an eyeshadow, like I'm not gonna wear pink eyeshadow all the time, you know. I feel like it's more of a trend. It's more like fun to play around with. So if you kind of want to try the trend but you don't want to spend as much money, I would definitely go with the one from Rimmel. The one from Urban Decay is great. It's just different kind of money. Like it depends what kind of money you want to spend, you know. Bronzers were great. The blushes really similar. You know, I'm really happy with the way this turned out. I haven't calculated the total for each sides of my face, but I will add that on the screen. Of course, the Rimmel side is going to be way less expensive than the higher end, but it just goes to show, you know, you don't need expensive products to create a beautiful makeup. I will say I prefer my skin on this side, to be completely honest, but for the eyeshadow palette, you know, quite a similar look. The matte shades blended really well. Bronzer looks really good as well. So honestly, I'm really happy with this. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know which side you prefer. You know, I feel like I did kind of a good job. So anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. All the products that I use and all the prices will be listed down below. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this video and I will see you very soon in a new one. Bye!